How much are they?
So a robot like Melody is $150,000, and that's fully AI capable and customized. We can actually make the robot look like anything you want. You can come to us and say, we would like to give us a picture of someone, and we can make that robot customized to you, and we can customize the AI so that it knows exactly what you want it to know. So it can learn about your company, it can learn about your product,
Okay.
Or it can be your girlfriend.
Ladies, y'all better get it together. Y'all see where technology is going? I'm gonna speak for the men on this one. The AI doll ain't flaking on no dates. She ain't withholding the draws. She ain't gonna be manipulative and controlling. She ain't gonna be spiteful. She ain't catching the attitude. She ain't fishing for an argument. So ladies, please get it together.
All right, guys, we gotta talk about this story of modern women melting down online at the fact that men are choosing AI dolls over them. They're choosing to have conversations and even physical interactions with these dolls. And yeah, these modern women are melting down. Take a look.
We gotta talk about what is happening in Germany, more specifically what has been happening in Germany for a year now. Berlin now has what is called a side brothel, meaning that the customers, who are majority men, have the option to rent out these AI dolls, and these dolls can have conversations with them, they can physically interact with them. The men also have the option to get, a VR headset, so it feels as real as possible even though they're only talking to a machine. They can book them for hours or even the entire night. Anybody with a couple of $100 can go to these AI dolls.
Why do women care? Honest question, why do you care if a man wants to rent a doll and be with the doll? I mean, if that's what he wants to do, I don't get why these modern women care, but let's keep going.
The owner of this has said that people just feel more comfortable when they're talking to a machine because machines don't judge you. Is it that machines do not judge you, or is it that you can do whatever you want to a machine? Things that would be very illegal to do to a woman. Because we're getting incredibly concerning reports on these things. You are able to customize your dolls, the way they look, their hair, their eyes, their skin, their size. You can even give them features that would normally be seen in, people who are below the age of 18. You can also, reinforce the mindset that when it comes to, heterosexual relationships, the only person whose actual desires and thoughts matter are the man's. The woman is just there to do whatever you want her to do. You're gonna make it impossible for these men to have actual interactions with real-life human beings. We're also getting reports on, men asking for dolls with injuries, with blood, asking to do incredibly horrific and violent things to these dolls. Things that could land them in prison if they were to do that to an actual woman.
Okay, so she's basically saying that there are injustices, I guess, being done to the doll. But is that the majority? Are dudes renting out the doll to put hands and feet on them? Or are they simply, I guess, checking out when it comes to dating these modern women that are insufferable and they don't want to deal with the nagging and the headache of dealing with these modern women? Okay, these dolls are a firmware update away from being fit, feminine, and friendly. I'm just saying, but they have no issues using men for their resources and money. Going on foodie dates when they know they're not interested in the guy, basically having men around that they're not interested in. Yeah, women have no issues with that. In fact, they'll say that you're not a real man if you're not taking on a single mother. But the moment a man checks out when it comes to the single dating market, he's no longer approaching women and he's grabbing his passport, or, maybe he rents out a doll, who knows? They have a problem with it. So it seems like these dolls are more of a threat to some of these modern women and the games they play.
Hey, that is just fantasy. It's not reality, right? We have never seen men who are interested in these types of things and who are consuming this type of content online or now in real life with these types of dolls actually targeting and being violent towards real life human beings, real life women. That has never happened before, and it will definitely not happen here. It is all just about, making sure men have a place where they can live out their depraved fantasy. Because God forbid a man is ever judged for wanting to be violent towards a woman, for wanting somebody that looks like a minor, for wanting a woman covered in bruises and injuries and blood. You should never judge a man for that. That's just the way they are, right? Also, they are saying, their workday begins with a doll shower, which just sounds like the nastiest things ever because they have to clean up all of these dolls after the men are done with them. They then put on this beautiful makeup on these dolls so they look like real women. One of the dolls is called Kokeshi. Her skin is described as super soft, and it even smells like perfume. curfew. 1 hour with her costs $100, and the owner himself says that it is very rare for female customers to come.
Again, what's her argument here? Is it the fact that there might be a subsection of men that are using these dolls inappropriately, according to her? Or is it the fact that more men are gravitating towards these dolls? What's the issue here, right? I don't see why she cares. They're toys, but like they're literal toys, plastic and steel and metal, right? I mean, these model women have their own toys, right? They have vibrators and roses and things of that nature, doing ungodly things to these vibrators. I'm just saying. Are we now going to be protesting for equality for AI? Right? Is that the issue here? I'm just trying to figure it out. The only real issue that I see here is the fact that men are spending $100 to be with a doll. Because I definitely would not be co-signing that. I'm just saying.
The owner says he wanted to create an art gallery, somewhere where you could interact with the art by using and abusing it. You know, that is the way you're supposed to interact with art. He says after a few minutes, the doll adjusts to my body heat and then it's very comfortable. At first, this was supposed to be temporary, but it got more and more popular. The way Kokeshi, welcomes these men is by saying, "Hi, I am Kokeshi. I'm an intergalactic being. It's my cosmic mission to bring the intercourse of the future to the Earth." The person behind the voice is a real-life human being. There's a camera and she can see everything that is happening, so she can also react to what is happening, I guess. She wants to stay anonymous and calls herself Aphrodite. She does say she's trying to, also teach consent to these adult men. If somebody just, kind of jumps her, she says she'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, please ask me before you do this." Now, what do these dolls look like? They look like all the women out there, all real-life women. A very big chest next to no waist, because organs are not necessary when you're a woman, and very long legs. That's super educational for the men, because, that is what the founder is saying, that he wants the men to be free to explore and to also maybe learn something out of this. Now they're going out and learning that, women should do whatever they want them to do, look however they want them to look, not complain, not cry, not yell, and also very unrealistic proportions. He does say that the people who manufacture these dolls are white men. We know. It is quite obvious, but thank you. Now, as I said, there's also a VR element to this. It's so you can imagine a woman that looks the way you want her to look in whatever situation you want her to be in. But then you also have the option to actually touch something in real life, aka the doll. We have the options to do so many things with, modern technology. But in this instance, it was chosen to, feed men's addiction to adult content, unrealistic ideas about women, and also make them believe that certain, fantasies that are definitely not okay are okay. There is a reason why, it's mostly men who are interested in establishments like that. And instead of addressing that and fixing that, you're just feeding more into it.
I think these dolls are a threat to these model women. Because they're now cutting into the market share of these gold diggers begging for money, dangling the box over your head, trying to get free dates out of you and manipulate and gaslight you to get the box. And, men can bypass that and, get a doll. Now, listen, am I co-signing a man to go out here and get a doll? No, I'm not co-signing it. I still believe in a man and a woman coming together, right? Let's be clear. But again, it gives men more options out here to avoid these model women. It's definitely giving these model women a run for their money, and they can't stand it. So I wouldn't be surprised if these model women find a way to protest for AI. Fight for the rights of AI, because AI is being abused by men in Germany. I don't know. But hey, let me know what you guys think about this one. Give me some feedback, and until next time.